last question. I asked you to do this earlier, but I just want you to do it even more, go detailed. What do you predict will happen next in the future? You know, it's like you see it before it happens.
Kathy White's true killer is going to be unveiled, and it's not a man, and that woman died screaming.
Jaguar Wright claims Diddy has tapes on Jay-Z, tapes that could end careers. She says she's exposing them herself while accusing Netflix of trying to take the footage. You clicked because you heard about tapes, blackmail, and Jay-Z being in serious trouble. And that's exactly what this video delivers, that you'll learn what's really on the tapes, why 50 Cent avoided mentioning Jay-Z in his Netflix documentary The Reckoning, and the mysterious death of Kathy White just before she was set to expose Jay-Z. It all connects, and it's darker than you think.
Has anyone ever heard of Kathy White, Jay-Z's alleged mistress? Yes, let's talk about it. Miss Kathy White was a fitness and beauty expert, baby. She graduated from Howard University and she was the CEO of her own PR company. Now, she was rumored to be Jay-Z's mistress because one night in Las Vegas at Tao nightclub, she was seen with model Claudia Jordan sitting at Jay-Z's table with P. Diddy. It was rumored that the whole entourage was there to see a boxing match, but Beyonce was not in attendance, sweetheart. Just Claudia and Kathy.
Think about that for a second. Jay-Z and Diddy ran hip-hop together for decades. They were at the same parties, the same clubs, the same business deals. So why would 50 Cent leave him out? Hold that question. We'll come back to it. Second, Jaguar. If you don't know who she is, here's a quick introduction. She's a singer who worked in the music industry for years and has been speaking out about what really happens behind the scenes. She was right about Diddy. She said it years before anyone believed her. Now, she's claiming Jay-Z is next. Third, there's a woman named Kathy White. Most people have never heard of her, but in 2011, she died just as she was about to go public about her relationship with Jay-Z. The timing was suspicious. The cause of death kept changing. And then everyone simply stopped talking about her.
Kathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think, and maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand's sake?
Those are your three puzzle pieces. Now, let's put them together. Let's start with Kathy White, because her story is the foundation of everything else. Kathy wasn't just some random person. She graduated from Howard University, was the CEO of her own PR company, and was a fitness and beauty expert. She had her life together. Successful, smart, and well-connected. In 2010, everything changed. Kathy was spotted at a Las Vegas nightclub called Tao, sitting at Jay-Z's table with Diddy and model Claudia Jordan. Beyonce wasn't there, just Kathy, sitting right next to Jay-Z. The paparazzi snapped photos, the blogs exploded, and everyone wanted to know, who is this woman? What does she mean to Jay-Z? Kathy had long been rumored to be Jay-Z's mistress. People in the industry whispered about it, but nothing was ever confirmed. When the photos surfaced, the blog started calling her nonstop, demanding quotes. At first, Kathy denied everything, claiming she had never met Jay-Z. But the photos told a different story. When journalists confronted her with the evidence, she changed her tune. She said she might go public and tell the truth about her relationship with Jay-Z. That decision may have cost her life. Here's what happened next. In late August 2011, Kathy contacted Jay-Z and told him she was thinking about going public. She was done hiding. She wanted to tell her story. Then on August 28th, 2011, Beyonce and Jay-Z announced at the MTV VMAs that they were expecting their first child, Blue Ivy. The world went crazy over the news. Just days later, in early September 2011, Kathy White was dead. She was only 28, healthy, and suddenly gone. The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence.
Well, did he start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey, Diddy. I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot. Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby.
Now, here's where it gets really suspicious. The reports about Kathy White's death don't add up. Some sources say she called 911 herself from her Manhattan apartment on West 19th Street, claiming she wasn't feeling well. An ambulance took her to Beth Israel Hospital, where she died. Other sources claim she was found unresponsive in her apartment. The first autopsy report said she died from blunt force trauma to the head, a physical injury, meaning someone hit her or she hit something. But the second autopsy changed the story, claiming it was a brain aneurysm. No explanation was given for why the two reports conflicted. They never specified what type of aneurysm, nor did they release the full autopsy or toxicology reports. Within 24 hours of the photos of her and Jay-Z hitting the internet, Kathy's social media pages vanished. Everything about her just disappeared. That's not normal. When someone dies of natural causes, their social media doesn't just get deleted. Someone had to actively remove everything. This is where Jaguar Wright comes in, and she is not holding back. Jaguar claims Kathy White's life was taken unfairly, saying she died screaming, and points fingers at the Carters, Jay-Z and Beyonce. She adds, one of them is more responsible than the other. Now, think about what she's implying. Did Jay-Z eliminate his pregnant mistress because his wife was jealous? Or is Beyonce's temper worse than most realize, forcing Jay-Z to clean up the mess to protect their brand? And Jaguar doesn't stop there. She says there's another player involved in all of this.
Documentary. Yeah, he was there for so much of it. Because right after the diddler beat the crap out of Steve Stout, the Jigga Man poked up on Rivera. Not long after that. All of this stuff happened around the same time.
Why do you think Jay-Z wasn't involved in none of this?
Well, I mean, he was involved in a lot of it. You mean, why wasn't he mentioned?
Yeah, mentioned in the documentary at all.
I mean, there was a lot of people that weren't mentioned. Matter of fact, not too many people in the industry were mentioned who were there and present. Isn't that cute?
Very true.
They found a way to tell that story while they kept everybody else clean.
According to Jaguar Wright, Diddy has tapes and footage on Jay-Z and has been using them to blackmail him for years. She even calls out Diddy, saying, "Show them the tape, Diddy. That might buy you a little time." If true, that's serious leverage, power Jay-Z can't touch. Jaguar also claims Diddy knows everything about Kathy White's death. He was allegedly at Tao nightclub in Vegas with Jay-Z and Kathy, and knows what really happened. She dares him to speak up, suggesting exposing Jay-Z could even save Diddy. Now, here's the wild part. There are rumors Kathy was pregnant with Jay-Z's child when she died, around the same time Beyonce announced she was expecting Blue Ivy. Some even speculate Beyonce used a surrogate, pointing to a 2011 interview where her belly appeared to fold unnaturally. Whether true or not, the public pregnancy announcement overshadowed Kathy White, keeping her story out of the spotlight.
What are your thoughts as far as how they portrayed Kim Porter with this Reckoning documentary?
They didn't portray her at all.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's the thing. They didn't portray her at all. She was spoken for by Kalima. That was interesting to watch, you don't think? Kalima's testimony? She was probably the most pitiful witness they brought up to speak about all of this in the entire thing. Kalima?
Wait, why you say that? She was emotional. She was...
Emotional? That's what you call it?
That's what I'm trying to call it.
Capricorn Clark was emotional. I'll give her emotional. I'm sitting there looking at someone, in my opinion, who appears to be struggling with a substance issue, trying not to fall apart on camera. Meanwhile, nobody paying attention to the fact that she's sitting there afraid to really say anything at all because she's in the middle of a custody battle and she's trying to get her kids back. And she's got to be careful of whatever she says because it could make it impossible for her to get her kids back. Did nobody pay attention to that?
Yeah, no, she said she wanted $5K from Diddy.
She wanted $5K from her former bandmate and a billionaire. And he wouldn't even give her $5K to help her get her kids back? Why not? But then again, nobody's talking about who her husband is and who her husband is to Diddy. He's one of Diddy's #1 minions.
Oh yeah, no, that's news.
He's a loyalist. He is a Diddy do-wop-bop. Kalina's also bisexual, so I'm finding it kind of interesting that she didn't see anything, she wasn't around anything, she didn't know about anything, and this is not me putting anything crazy on her. This is exactly what she said when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Stevie J, who was also not mentioned at all during this documentary. Because Stevie J was living at the Star Island house. Tell me something, how do you have all of that stuff about Little Rod and there's no Stevie J? Now, it was really interesting because there was some of the footage that Little Rod has shared with this documentary that he shared with nobody else that he did an interview with, and none of that made it into the trial. There's images of him with French Montana and the Diddler on the yacht.
Yeah.
But nothing of Stevie J, surgically removed.
Let's talk about the Netflix documentary. It's 4 episodes, trending at #1, and everyone's watching. But notice something odd. Jay-Z barely appears. The series covers Diddy's career, Bad Boy Records, Biggie, Tupac, Cassie, and all the lawsuits, but Jay-Z, who was there for it all, is almost completely absent. Jaguar Wright explains why. Major figures like Jay-Z, Stevie J, and Clive Davis are barely mentioned, even though they were all connected to Diddy. Clive Davis owned 51% of Bad Boy Records, yet he's mentioned for just 35 seconds. Stevie J, Diddy's main producer, isn't featured at all. And Jay-Z, Diddy's rival and friend, is nearly invisible. Jaguar says the documentary tells Diddy's story while keeping everyone else clean, making it seem like he was the only one causing trouble, but that's far from the truth.
Sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do, the ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about, but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well.
Let's look at what the Netflix documentary left out. Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and mother of 3 of his children, died suddenly in 2018. The official cause was pneumonia, but many doubt it. Rumors suggest she was writing a tell-all memoir about her life with Diddy, which was never published. The documentary barely touches on her death and avoids the suspicious circumstances. Then there's Stevie J, who lived at Diddy's Star Island house and was one of his closest associates. The documentary shows other figures, like Little Rod, who sued Diddy, and French Montana on Diddy's yacht, but Stevie J is completely omitted. Jaguar Wright highlights this, noting that Keena, a Donity Kane member married to Stevie J, claimed she didn't see anything, but Jaguar says that doesn't add up. Both she and Stevie J were there, yet the documentary lets them off easy. Why? Because exposing Stevie J would inevitably lead back to Jay-Z.
Who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love.
Here's something most people don't know. Jaguar Wright claims she has her own tape. She says that over the years she worked with sex workers who wore hidden cameras, recording what allegedly happened at private parties and sessions involving powerful men in the music industry. Jaguar says she has seen this footage herself and claims it shows disturbing behavior involving Jay-Z and Diddy. According to her, these women were drugged, silenced, and then erased with everything covered up through NDAs, payoffs, and legal settlements. She insists that people in the industry have known about this for years, but are now pretending to be shocked that Diddy was exposed. Jaguar says the public reaction is coordinated, surprise for the cameras, silence behind the scenes. She even names Clive Davis, claiming Diddy was taught how to operate and that Clive Davis was his greatest teacher. If Clive owned 51% of Bad Boy Records, Jaguar argues, then he was involved in everything. Yet, she points out, no one is talking about Clive at all.
Want to know why there is no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That change is now shown.
Jaguar Wright makes a bold claim. Jay-Z is allegedly setting Diddy up. She points to a pattern, removing anyone who stands in his way. Dame Dash was pushed out of Rockefeller, Big L was murdered with no arrests, and DeHaven was cut off after prison. Jaguar takes it further, suggesting Jay-Z may have been involved in Aaliyah's death to clear the path for Beyoncé's rise. She argues Diddy is now an obstacle because he knows too much. He has tapes, knows about Kathy White, and holds Jay-Z's secrets. According to her, Jay-Z is working behind the scenes to take Diddy down, so those secrets disappear.
He said he's trying to take down Diddy.
No, he's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him. Because the truth is, he would just be another kind of monster in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know that they won't admit. Which is why when that C&D came out, he took all of that Diddy shit down because of his tape.
Now, let's talk about 50 Cent, because Jaguar Wright has a different take on his documentary.
Let me tell you something that shows just how much power Jay-Z has. Jaguar Wright appeared on Piers Morgan's show, a massive platform watched by millions. During the interview, she openly called Jay-Z and Diddy monsters on live television. She didn't hold back, accusing them of horrific behavior and saying the music industry has protected them for years. The interview aired, people saw it, and it began to go viral. Then, within 24 hours, it was gone deleted and wiped from the internet. Think about what it takes to make that happen. A major network, a high-profile journalist, and a public interview, all erased in a single day. That's the level of power we're talking about. That's how protected Jay-Z is. Now, let's talk about 50 Cent. Most believe he made his documentary to expose Diddy and give victims a platform, but Jaguar Wright thinks differently. She says 50 isn't trying to change the industry. He wants to take Diddy and Jay-Z out of the way so he can run hip-hop himself. Jaguar even calls him out for allowing toxic waste to be dumped near his Millennium Studios in Shreveport, Louisiana, harming locals, all for cheap cash. Here's how it all connects. Diddy has tapes on Jay-Z, what's on them is unknown, but serious enough to keep Jay-Z afraid for years. Kathy White was about to expose Jay-Z, and days later, she was dead. Her cause of death kept changing, her social media vanished, and the story disappeared. So, here's the question. What's really on those tapes? Could it be bad enough that Jay-Z has been running from it for over a decade? And what really happened to Kathy White? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is far from over.